Sandy Says Read. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a review and discussion of A Chance to Bloom by Dee Stewart. Now let me get this up there and see if I can get the glare off of it a little bit. Maybe. Isn't that nice? Pretty sunflowers. This is the second book in the Marysville Small Town Romance series from Dee. I picked up this book when I was at a luncheon event that she was a part of during a conference. Let me get this whole title out for you. It's the Southwest Florida Writers Ignite Your Imagination Conference, which took place back in May. I sat at Dee's table and she had a number of goodie bags with books in them. This was the book that I got. The sunflowers reminded me of my Aunt Bee. And I think I shared that with you all when I was doing like the book unhaul from that conference. It's been a little while ago. I've slept since then. I've reset. I don't remember. Okay, I'm going to read you the back cover before we get started on this review. Heather Rosemont isn't like most women her age. She doesn't have a steady career, a home, a family, or friends. She is a free spirit who never spends longer than a year in any one place. To determine her next move, she covers her eyes and throws a dart at a map. It lands on Marysville, a small town in Northern California. She has serious reservations when she learns it doesn't have any apartments to rent, but Jeff Wilson, the sole real estate agent, arranges for her to lease an empty Victorian on Lake Ellis that belongs to his best friends, Rusty and Victoria Lockridge. When she's hired to manage Mia's flower shop, she's all set for the next year. She didn't count on the magic of Marysville to change her outlook on putting down roots. She didn't count on a tight-knit group of friends who drew her into their circle. She didn't count on the town matriarch taking an interest in her and becoming like the grandmother she never knew. And she didn't count on falling in love with Jeff Wilson. But is having everything she never thought she wanted, enough to keep her rooted in Marysville? Okay, the specs for the book. A Chance to Bloom by Dee Stewart. This was published in 2022. This version is 323 pages. Now, there's something interesting that happens in here. Obviously, it's a sweet romance. You can get that from, hearing the back, all the language on the back cover. It's a sweet romance. It's a sweet contemporary romance. Our main character, Heather Rosemont, and our other main character, Jeff Wilson, those two tell the story. We do go between their two points of view throughout the narrative, and that's well done. So we get to see what each of them are thinking about, how they can move forward with their future, what they think of one another, how they're falling in love with one another. That's the sweet romance. But there's this, the underlying tension of, okay, is Heather going to decide to stay in Marysville? I mean, she makes it clear from the outset, look, I'm going to be here for a year, and then I'm going to throw a dart at a map, and I'm going to move somewhere else. This is what I do. I'm going to be here for a year. And Dee makes it very clear that once Heather sets her mind to a plan, she's going to stick to the plan. She's going to get it done, and she's going to stick to the plan. Okay, this is how she operates. So Heather finds it. She's stepping outside of her comfort zone to make friends in this town. She's stepping outside of her comfort zone to even consider sticking around. She's not going to stick around, but everyone in this town thinks she will. Everyone in this town except Jeff. Jeff, the guy who is falling in love with her but doesn't want to fall in love with her because he doesn't want to get his heart broken again, blah, blah, blah. That's the romance of it, right? And y'all know I'm so cynical when it comes to romance novels, right? But there's something interesting that Dee has done with this romance. In a lot of these romance novels that you read, the guy and the gal, they're like, they're hesitant to be the first to say, I love you, right? And in this story, that is taking place again. Jeff and Heather both are hesitant to say, I love you. They don't want to say it to one another because they don't want to put that burden on one another. It's not just that Jeff is concerned, oh, she's not going to say it back. Heather's not just concerned that, oh, he's not going to say it back. That isn't what they're worried about. In most romance novels, that's what the characters are worried about, right? The guy is like, I don't want to say I love you because she's not going to say it back to me. She's not going to love me too. That's not what's going on here. What's going on here is Jeff is concerned that if he says, I love you to Heather, he's going to push her further away because she's leaving in June of the next year. She's leaving and he doesn't want to put that burden on her. And she's feeling the same thing. She's like, I don't want to say I love you to Jeff because I will put that burden on him. I will just break his heart that much more at the end of this love affair. What they did is they decided, okay, obviously we're attracted to each other. Obviously we're falling in love. Obviously we need to be together, but there is a time limit on this love affair. In June, Heather's leaving. She's going to throw a dart at a map and leave. Everyone is aware that this is her plan. Whether she's going to do that or not, everyone's aware this is her plan. So what she and Jeff decide is, okay, we're going to make a contract. And the contract is at the end of 11 months, because a month into this is when they decide they're going to make this contract. At the end of 11 months, in June, our contract will terminate. The contract ends. But during those 11 months, over the next 11 months until June, we are boyfriend and girlfriend. We are having our affair however we want to have our affair. And he even draws up these 9 or 10 the Bill of Rights for their contract, right? He comes up with, these 9 or 10 things that they're agreeing to, We'll go out as many times as we can. We'll fix dinner for each other whenever we can. We're going to hang out and we're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend. We're going to be exclusive to one another until you leave. And so they've made this contract, but they're afraid to say, I love you. They're afraid to commit. They're afraid to partner up because she's going to leave and break his heart and her own. Yeah, there you go. That is A Chance to Bloom. Oh, and the bloom, the flowers, it all comes in because obviously her name is Heather, type of flower. Her dog is Poppy, a type of flower. She takes a job at a flower shop, which is lovely. I mean, the floral concept is coming in there. And so that allegory, that symbolism for, getting rooted in the town and blooming there is all over the book. And I thought that was nice. The English major in me was pleased with that. I liked that a lot. So I can recommend A Chance to Bloom by Dee Stewart as a sweet, lovely little contemporary romance. And I'll tell you, at the beginning of this book, it says something like, this book is intended for mature audience of 18 and older. And so I was like, oh, doggone, is it going to be full of, those sex scenes? It wasn't. It was very clean. It was lovely. It was very nice. It was well done. And how do I want to say it? Cleanly done. There you go. It was nice. It was a clean, contemporary, sweet romance with a good ending. A satisfying ending. I won't spoil it, but come on. A satisfying ending, okay? A happy ending. There you go. So thumbs up for good, sweet, contemporary romances with happy endings. Okay? And you guys, please follow along. Please subscribe to the channel. Please click the bell notification icon so that you're notified each time I do these random things here on the channel. Thanks for tuning in.